35 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Potts. This is my co-host.
Good to be here, Mark Simpson. Happy Monday, Ed.
Happy Monday to you too. Mark, why are we here?
We are here to educate a younger generation from all the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, from grinding out, being somewhat successful salespeople. I say that as CFO, but you know what?
And part of your repertoire.
Doesn't matter what position you have, what role you have. At this time, everybody's always doing sales, and all we're here to do is help you along that journey.
Yeah, that's why we're here. You know, and I told you I had my first speaking conference recently, and they got the books that I sent them, and I got an email from Brian the other day saying, I'm making it mandate that everyone on the sales team read your book, and then we're going to have a book review with you on a call. I'm going to pay you again.
That's great.
I want you to come on, and I want you to answer questions again from the book. And I was like, whoa, that's freaking awesome. You know, that was pretty cool. All right, man, let's jump into the sports moment of your weekend.
Well, sports moment. Well, okay, so it was a tough June and early July for our Mets.
Tough.
So fortunately, we turned things back around. My sports moment's still the Mets. However, my non-sports moment is the Knicks hiring Mike Brown.
Like it or don't?
Don't.
I don't think
I didn't think you should have hired Tibbs. Why'd you fire him?
I don't get it.
You know, so no, I'm not excited about that. One other sports one, I will give a shout out to Rockland County, my hometown. We did have a top, I think, 15 draft pick from Don Bosco that came out. Yeah, I played baseball.
We had one from Hop Hog.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Olivero, big left-hand hitted guy.
Right.
He got drafted.
A guy by the name of Becker. His father was a little bit younger than me, but was a star baseball player back when I played a long time ago.
Very cool. For me, I was pretty excited because I watched Wimbledon most of the week because most of the matches were during the day when SportsCenter was on. So I kind of followed it all the way through and see an American girl make it to the finals.
Yep.
She didn't win, but man, she fought hard and made the world aware of it. So that was exciting. Okay. And yesterday, in a 5-batter sequence, Mania struck out 5 guys. Or 3 guys.
It was good to see him back yesterday.
It just made me feel like there's hope coming back. And then if Senga comes back, we could really have a nice rotation.
I just didn't like how he battled back and then lost it right away in the 9th. So.
This is his first time on the mound in the pros, man. You got, he was doing minor league stuff. It's always different.
It's just you want to see that jump to be like real hardcore championship team versus like this
middle of the road. You had one lucky win streak in the beginning of the year, and now you're
like 30-30 over the last 60 games. So it's kind of like a weird feeling. Yeah,
it's ugly. All right, we're going to talk about Chapter 2 today. And our guest, Brian Ofsie, is here, and it's when did I realize I was interested in sales? When did it really occur to me that I was good at it, I liked it, it was for me? And when I went back and read through the book, Chapter 2 comes into play because it ties into baseball.
Right.
14 years old in junior high, we're on austerity, which means any after-school activities you have to pay for, everything. There were no buses, and they needed to get paid. So the coach went and found a fundraising company that sold decorative candles, 10 inches tall, 12 to a case, and if we sold them at $6 each, all I needed to do was sell 14 candles, split the profits, everybody's happy, and I could play on the baseball team.
Right.
Except I go out there and I sell 50 candles my first day, 75 my second day, and by the third day, I had over 200 candles sold.
And you covered the whole baseball team ready to go for funding.
Well, the funny part was I didn't make the team.
Oh.
And I wasn't that upset.
Right.
Because I'm walking away with $750 that I just earned selling, not realizing that I had to eventually go back out and hand out all those candles, 255 of them. And I still to this day thank my brother for putting them in the trunk of his car and letting me run alongside of his car, going up to houses, But that's when I knew. I knew it. Not that I capitalized on it until I was almost 45 years old, but it was there.
Right.
What about you?
So every now and then I pretend to be a finance guy. So let me let me go in that way right now. So when we look at income statement, financial statements, or whatever the case may be, we always look at kind of metrics, right? We always want to say, okay, so it's, head of sales, let me see what your pipeline is and whatnot. And so when I was younger, we'd start to get involved and you'd say, okay, well, what's the pipeline? Because you look back into your revenue and you're trying to do projections. And then you'd start to say, wait a second, why isn't my pipeline growing? Or even more, why am I not converting those sales over? So a CFO is kind of weird, but then those sisters say, wait a sec, how does this product work? And next thing you know, you start talking to customers. And the way I always do it from my side is I sell by not selling. I sell by having a conversation,
right,
and knowing the product and whatnot. So that's how I kind of got involved, just because anything that gets touched affects the financial statements, which is your accountability.
But how many years into your career until you took that role?
So I would say the first few years I had no clue. It wasn't even a thought. And then probably about 4 or 5 years in, before I got into sales side of things, I was really more involved operationally. How did things work? How do the expenses flow? And then I got into sales. So I'd probably say about 7, 8, 9 years into my career is really when I kind of really focused on the importance of sales.
Yes, it's important. So we got action statement and action moment. I have actually both. If you believe you can achieve a goal, the only thing standing in your way is you.
Right.
It's how much you want to put into it. It's how much effort you want to. I wanted to make the baseball team.
Right.
I wanted to make money. I didn't get both.
Right.
But I could have made the team.
Right, but take that statement though. Let's go to sales for a second. Let's pretend if you believe in what you're selling, how much easier is it to sell that product?
It's like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, you
know. All right, word of the day. I'll let you read it. It's something I'm trying to work on, man. I'm trying.
I'm even going to deliver it slowly.
Slowly.
Patience.
I'm lucky that I'm around a woman who has more patience than any saint I've ever heard about, talked about. My wife is my father-in-law's caretaker, my family's caretaker, and she does it so effortlessly with patience that just, I don't know how she does it.
Right.
I don't have that patience, but I try to learn from her because I don't have it.
Right.
I try. I do. I make efforts. I realize my shortcomings, but if I had more patience, I'd be even more lethal.
Right. Well, I got a story for you. So I used to work for a company, and I usually never mention names, but I used to work for a company called Worldwide Security out of Garden City. And a guy by the name of Ken Mara, who became kind of like a father figure to me. Unfortunately, he passed. Anyway, we bought a bunch of companies, and I was like his first real CFO there. Ken would sit behind his desk, and people would come in as a business owner, and companies would pitch him all day long. Oh, buy this, buy that. And, I was kind of like wanting to get a deal done, kind of an aggressive guy. If the terms weren't there, Ken would be, okay, no problem. I'll be here when you need me. The ultimate patience. And out of several years being with him, you would see the patience pay off where deals would come back to him. He had the power of saying no,
right,
and the deal would come back. And the guy was the ultimate patient. He's okay, no problem.
I'm working on it. All right, we're going to tequila time early, and the changes there, so we can include Brian a little bit more in the questions and answers.
It's real tequila too, so
we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back for tequila time. Back to everybody, episode 35 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Podds. This is my co-host,
Mark Simpson.
And today's guest is Brian Ofsie from CarJoy.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
All right, good. So we're bringing you in tequila time. We're going to do a quick toast. Thanks for being here, being part of episode 35.
Good. Thank you for having me.
And that is always the real stuff.
So the purpose of tequila time, it's about how we used to do something an old way and something a new way. And this isn't a strange conversation, but we actually were just talking about what I want. So I do email blasts, and for ones that I have very little information other than their email address, I do a blind copy, and I'll send 100 emails out at a time with a pretty good AI-helped email to them. But then I have clients who, I know who they are, their email address reflects their business name, the Mary at John's Construction, easy things to decipher. So what I'm looking for now is to find AI to be able to put together a spreadsheet. I'll put together the spreadsheet and somehow tie AI in with taking all those emails, sending out individual ones with Dear And whatever they pull off that email address that makes sense, whether it's the word John, whether it's the word custom renovation.
That all exists, yep.
I need to find someone who could help me make this happen.
I just saw a demo, sort of.
No, go right ahead.
A demo where they took AI and went through LinkedIn and basically said, just give, okay, this is what I want to gather specifically. For example, I want every sort of relationship in Cleveland, Ohio, and could grab you those email people for that specific industry right off of LinkedIn for that specific region.
Do you know someone who does this?
Yes.
I need to be introduced.
Okay.
I need because this could save hours of time.
Well, that was so interesting enough. The presentation I saw was in front of a sales team.
There you go.
One of the guys spent hours on a weekend going through LinkedIn to track down all these emails. Somebody, you all know these names, but somebody basically said, "Oh, let me show how AI does it."
Okay. Well,
these guys, they have bots.
Yep.
And they just.
I'm starting to learn about it, man.
And they have dozens of bots going at a time, and it's incredible what they pull off.
And the thing too is a lot of people have like the $20 a month Chat GPT subscription, but they have like $200 a month, $1,000. I mean, there's stuff that's coming down the pipeline that's going to be pretty crazy.
Well, that's my old and new, and I'm all on board with the new. I know people look at me like, "Oh, you're 61 years old."
No, dude,
I'm like, I'm on it, man. If I could get back 2-3 hours a week, you know what that means? That means I could dial more. Right. And when I dial, I sell. But I don't have time to dial because I got to do so much other shit that's got to get done as well. But I got to find this person.
Listen, what you just touched on, I'm going to guess we're all relatively same age, similar decades, whatever. But the pressure, look, business owner, sales, whatever the hell you want to call me, the pressure to stay relevant and with technology, it doesn't stop. It's not like you're going off into the sunset and saying, yeah. And so and the world is changing at such a quick pace, it's incumbent upon us to be on top of this technology.
All right.
And we're all in sales. The more efficient we are.
That's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
The more we could bring technology
100%.
in, the better we're going to be.
100%.
Nobody could replace my phone call.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're
working on it.
All right, let's jump into networking tip. So I wanted to share a real quick reminisce. I think last episode or 2 episodes ago, we talked about when I left that conference in North Carolina that the very last person I saw leaving the restaurant on my way home was someone in the know in a relocation organization.
Right.
We traded follow-up calls. We traded follow-up text messages, but they were soft. They were soft for a reason. Eventually, I'm going to ask this guy for something. That's the reality of it. But let's develop some rapport. Let's have a couple of text messages. Let's have a few phone calls. Let's have a few emails. And by playing it that way, when I picked up the phone last Tuesday, he picked up on the first ring. "What's going on, Eddie?" And I laid out what was going on, what I was after. And he was able to give me a name, an email address, what organization I could reach out to that will help get me to where I want to work for his company as a source for relocation. And by playing it that way, not being that, uber aggressive, jam you up with a million emails, just playing it slow, doing it smoothly, I converted that last minute, that last conversation at the last minute of that trade show into something really valuable.
Patience.
Hey, look at that.
There we go, yeah.
What about you? Trade networking tip?
Look, I'll stick with the patience thing too. Look, 2 things. One, I don't know if you remember back a couple years ago, they used to have like a commercial where there'd be a guy over the shoulder who was like,
the devil,
right?
Yeah.
So you now are what would Ed do, right? Because again, you know my personality.
Yeah.
I'm more of kind of an introvert that becomes an extrovert in small segments. Because of you, and I say this to you privately, but I'm now much more aggressive and not afraid to just be uncomfortable every which way. And I kind of really appreciate it. And so Ed is my little guy on the shoulder. I could be anywhere around the country. What would Ed do? Yeah. And I know Ed would go right there. I'm like, I got to do this, but that's what I do. So my networking tip is, again, what would Ed do?
My wife, what would Jesus do? She'd do that to my kids for years because we taught Sunday school together. I know I'm a Jew and all that, but when a kid would come up to her and with her question, what would Jesus do?
Well, Mark, you said the magic word, getting uncomfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do a ton of networking. I know you do a ton. And too many people just show up.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So when you're at a networking event or even a networking meeting, a lot of people are in weekly meetings, show up, be there. Really go the extra mile.
Engaging.
Be engaging. Take notes when you're in there. People have Facebook. People have Instagram, TikTok. You meet some quality people, learn about them. Maybe you have common interests.
Right.
Maybe your best friend knows him, went to college with him. Find that connection. Go above what most people do and really make it meaningful. Otherwise, why show up? Why do it at all?
Because don't just show up.
Yes.
Show up and participate. Yeah. Show up and be prepared.
Make it a meeting. Be prepared.
Don't waste your time.
Trade show tip. So for me, I go to one event, make lots of friends, and then I immediately volunteer myself to work on the next event. Join a committee. That's my tip. Join a committee. Where does that land me? So I get a group email from 6 people in the organization. Thanks for volunteering some time. If you have any ideas, shoot them over to us. So I came up with a cornhole idea during our conference in October. And what I'm doing is I'm having 2 custom-made boards with pods on there, and the bags will say pods as well. And I'm going to run an in-game tournament, but it's not about one against the other. It's about just getting points for landing it on the board, getting it in the hole. So it's 3 points, it's 1 point, but take the 150 people and wheedle it down to the final 2. And then do a toss-off like a real match, a real two out of 3, and then the winner walks away with the boards that say pods on there, and the second place winner gets a bottle of bourbon from
When
pods.
is that going to convert to how to become a sales warrior instead of pods on the boards?
True. Well, pods is paying for it.
Understood. Just a matter
they're
of time.
paying for the boards.
I get it. I understand.
And I got an email back like within an hour, and they were like, "What if we turn this into a fundraiser for our local charity and people pay for the bag? They want to take 10 bags, you got to take $20, whatever the number is." And I was like they're on board already.
Right.
They're already on board with the idea, and they're trying to make it better. And like immediately, I'm like, "Oh, that's a fantastic idea." So that was my trade show tip: join a committee, get involved. You want to get more out of the event that you're going to, be part of it.
Yep.
How about you?
So I'll give it, we've talked about this a little bit before, but so in the security space, which is my background, some of our biggest trade shows are, basically all around the world, people come in. For me, the biggest thing is setting up your trade show with all the hallway meetings before you even get to the trade show. So, we're meeting investors, bankers, whoever the case it may be, partnerships, dealers, whatever the case may be. All that legwork before the trade show even starts, so that when you show up, you've got a schedule. You're not just sitting and working a booth.
Right. Very good. And you?
I walk a lot of trade shows and fairs, in Long Island, they have those phone. It has to be eye-popping. You have to
draw their attention.
You have to draw their attention and differentiate. And then, like you said, have a little contest. Make it engaging that they want to be there, and then they'll get to know what we do. But make it engaging that they show up and they want to stay there and talk to you, and that
100%.
No, dude, that's a great answer.
And you win.
yeah, good answer, Richard. Yeah.
All right.
Family Feud. Yeah.
Yes.
Big win of the week. So usually I go with pods, but this week I'm not. Because of all the work I've been doing, the events I've been part of, hosting, I have been asked to be a spoke of 5 people to throw in a networking event. It's more of an educational seminar, 3-hour seminar, renting a hotel room, food, cash bar. The idea is to sell a couple of sponsorships and get attendance, get people to come. And the 5 spokes are going to be web SEO, branding, trade show. That's right out of my book. There's going to be a section on what to do and what not do at a trade show, digital media, and one other one I can't remember. But the fact that someone thought that highly of me, yeah, they want my money, but they know it's not about the money. It's we want you on our team because you're going to work your ass off and you're going to do everything in your power to bring as many people to this as possible. And to me, that's a big win. It's flattering. It's like people recognizing you for your hard work and willing to step out of your comfort zone and take a risk. So I'll take a risk.
Right.
How about you?
Well, so Sem Holdings, which is my business, we're celebrating almost 4+ years in business, and I'll give a shout out to my team: Kevin O'Brien, Mike Miller, Mike Mershimer. We're about, knock on wood, hopefully to land the customer that you hope.
The big one.
Right. So I don't want to jinx it, but give a shout out to the boys. Great job, fellas. It's an honor and a pleasure to be working with everybody.
What about you? Big win?
Yes. I'm going to preface by saying, us as salespeople, we work so hard in the origination, getting that client, finding that client, closing that client. Now, what happens from closing on?
A lot of shit.
In my 30 years of sales, so many people work so hard and they forget about it at the closing, and they're just so happy it closed. So I'm going to give a big shout out to the president of CarJoy, Eric Mulbegat, our visionary of the group, amazing guy. And we spend so much time on developing a close-out procedure. You're going to see on our videos, we have a wheel of fortune in which you can win prizes. We're going to have a basketball thing. We've made the closeout procedure so fun and engaging and informative for the client that it's been great. And part of that, they've been inviting all of their Facebook friends to join CarJoy.
Nice.
And it creates tremendous interaction. And then we have a whole process afterwards, but we officially this week rolled out that whole process.
That's great.
And so far it's been amazing.
That sounds really great, because to your point, you work so hard in sales, right? And it takes you, I think the average time is 8 or 9 touches before you can close a sale.
Right.
How hard, how easy is it to lose that customer?
Yes. For me, the driver getting to the location and the customer lied and there's not enough room for the container, and then my driver has to go away and the customer's all pissed off.
Outside of your control.
Outside of my control, but I take the heat for it.
I understand.
So I train everybody. Your client is never going to be happier at that point of sale. Never.
It's all down.
It's all down.
Yep.
So you got to optimize that time, spend as much time with the client, make them feel so special that we all have 1,000 people in our Facebook and our phones. We want them to feel so good about us to open up all that.
I feel that honestly hits home so well. And of so many people we have on this podcast, that answer should be replicated. That closeout, I might even steal, I like that, the closeout process, because that is, people underestimate that. And I'll just tell you, I've been through so many businesses. You work your ass off to get the sale. The sales guy's done this, sales lady's done this. And then somebody does something stupid.
Yep.
And you've just had all those meetings just compromised. And that is so critical to keep that, because that's a repeat sale.
Yes.
Yeah. And
it's the lifeblood of your business.
100%.
You know, you want one to turn into 20.
Right. People always think in this side, but it's when you close and that piece right there.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Best business decision of the week. Mine was being willing to be vocal about what I think would be a fun thing to do at a conference, and the willingness to take ownership of this opportunity and sharing it with people who are smart enough to let them run with it. You know, like you could just tell the vibe, yeah, let him run with it. He wants to do that, let him run with it. And I love when someone says to me, let him run with it. But it was a good decision to do it, because now I'm a focal part of this event. I'll be the guy talking to every single person that wants to donate money to charity to throw a few cornhole bags. So
that's nice.
It's a good decision. It helps my brand, gets me a little closer to some more people who are in the decision making of who to use for relocation. It's about building a relationship.
That's right.
What about you?
Listen, I say it over, but I'm very lucky, very fortunate. I'm just open to everything right now, and I'm pulled in 14 different directions. It's wonderful. And being able to time manage and have the ability to do so many different things, whether it's this podcast, whether it's joining different networking groups, being involved with different companies, it's, you know, just having that ability and trust and patience in myself.
Best business decision of the week?
Mark, I'm going to go off 2 words that you said: getting uncomfortable.
Yep.
And time management. I was talking to Ed beforehand. I made a list of everything I do. I separated it by what's the most valuable, and everything else, I'm offshooting it. And it took a lot for me to do that. I got rid of 1 or 2 things. I have 3 or 4 more things I'm getting rid of, but I expect it to open up a whole new world for me.
Look, you don't by chance use a whiteboard, do you?
Similar to a whiteboard.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Big one in my office.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah.
We finished with all that. Now comes the grilling, Brian. Now comes the grilling. But you can answer the question I had before. When did you know that you were going to be involved in sales because you just loved it?
Great question. Great question. I'm going to go back to a little kid, born in Brooklyn, New York. Had nothing, 1 of 4 kids. It created a burning desire to succeed. Now, everyone doesn't succeed with a burning desire, but for me, it created a work ethic like no other. And I started working at 8, doing my brother's paper route, to working 12, 13, working my way through college. And like you guys said before, we're our own worst enemy. If you could win the battle of your mind,
Yep.
you could win anything. And
when did you know sales was your thing?
out of college, I was a CPA, and I was supposed to go to law school. One of my accounts I was auditing was a stockbroking firm. I saw all these guys selling when I was there, selling 10, 12 hours a day. And I used the old line, what do they got that I don't got? And I just fell in love with it. And
you didn't like auditing bank recs?
No,
doing
I hated
stuff that wasn't your fun in work papers? No?
So I was always that person that wanted to do sales and get ahead. And it was a means to ends.
What was your first sales job?
Stockbroker.
So you started as an accountant?
Yes, I was a CPA.
Okay. Oh, you took the test and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Good for you. Where'd you go to school?
Emory.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Emory, went to BDO Seidman, and it just wasn't for me.
Right. How many busy seasons did you go through?
One.
That's why you know how Getzel feels every week.
One.
You basically got put on financial clients as
A few.
okay, and so that's how you sounds kind of like a little exposure, where you were basically doing the audit. I'm guessing,
yes,
right?
Yes, and I saw the engagement. I saw them working. I saw the sales. I saw the high intensity pitching, and I'm like, that's where I need to be.
How long did you do that for?
Did that for 4 or 5 years, and then I went into real estate and mortgages for 25 years.
Oh wow, okay. How did that transition in your 20s at this point in time, when you're a CPA?
CPA right out of college.
Yep.
Accountant. I didn't make my CPA because I didn't stay long enough.
Okay, yeah, the 2 years.
The preface.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. So I went into stocks at 24.
When was this? I'm just trying to think, because the market was there's different challenges.
That's a good question.
Right.
So I'm 1971, 24, so 1990s.
Okay, yeah. So stock markets.
Yeah.
You're making money
I was
in the stock
stocks,
market.
1990s, doing well, and
Yep.
then I went to real estate and mortgages at late 90s.
And what was the thought process to leave the stock market to go into real estate and mortgages?
It's a great question. Obviously, the stress and the stock picks. And the guy, you know what? There's a lot to say on who's mentoring you, who's guiding you.
Who's filling you with good or bad information?
I have 4 kids, and I'll tell my kids, don't go for the easy route.
Right.
Slow and steady, with the right mentor, the right person training you, in my opinion, is the best way to go. Yeah, some people might make it, hit it big and everything else, but
that's the exception.
Right. You want the right people behind you and backing you. You don't want to go for fast money or fast.
Are you still involved in that industry?
Stocks?
Yeah.
I still buy. I still.
Just as an investor.
It's a passion.
And what
of mine.
about real estate?
Love it.
Still in it.
Yes.
Still owning properties.
Well,
love it.
So you go into real estate mortgages. You're in that for 20. So you've survived the 2008 time period.
Yes.
Or so, which is probably a lot different period from when you got in with the early 2000s. Snap your finger, mortgages are going crazy.
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
It was very difficult.
Right. So you're in there for 20. And what did you specialize in? What did you focus on? Residential or commercial?
Mostly residential.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that your own business or?
Back then, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how did you transition? So we're in there for a while now. And how do you transition to CarJoy?
It's a great question. How to become a sales warrior. I consider myself a sales warrior. I could do anything. And I believe I'll be successful because it's up here. It's up there. It's...
What made you pick cars? Because they're cool and they're shiny?
No.
And they got neato gadgets? Because that would work for me.
Tell you the truth, I'm not a car guy. I'm a businessman. And when I look in Long Island, I've lived on Long Island for 20 years, the average household has 2 to 3 cars. So what do we look at? We talk about leads and originations. So if you win the battle of originations and leads, that's half the battle. So if everyone has 2 to 3 cars, if I could build a better mousetrap than most, I'm going to do really well because everyone needs us. And the other thing is most people don't like going to dealerships.
Right.
Gee, I wonder, let me go check with the manager and see what I can do.
That and a lot of the marketing, you know, they might say it's $299 with $3,400 down, but then the fine print, so
it's $4,000.
Right. So were you developing a business plan along the way, or how did you make the leap from basically as a businessman, and you have a successful business doing the mortgages and the real estate? How did you make that leap to go and say, okay, you know what? Did you open it from?
No. Eric, like I said, Eric Mulbagat has been doing cars, working with dealerships for 28 years.
Right.
So I started working with him, and
how many years are you in?
I'm in 3.5, 4 years, and I'm helping him build an incredible company.
How does it differentiate from the dealer experience?
I never worked at a dealer, so I can't speak from specific things. But a lot of people that are working at CarJoy came from dealerships,
right?
In which you had to work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You had to work weekends. You had to work holidays. Here, if you become a sales warrior, you could be working from home. You could be working from the beach. If you could have the mindset of being proactive and, you know, not self-sabotaging yourself, it's a much better life. I have one person that's working for me, worked 17 years in a dealership, and she's got a beautiful baby girl. Not baby girl anymore. She's older, and she missed part of her life. Now she has the luxury, she's making just as much, if not more money. She spends as much time as she wants with her daughter. And she's got an incredible life. I gotta tell you,
your sales pitch is one of the best I've just heard. Because if I get, especially in today's age, a kid comes in, well, you're saying I can work from the beach and make a bunch of money?
Yes.
And you're basically saying, hell yeah, dude.
So,
but, not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Most people can't do it.
They don't have this. They don't have the
they don't have the mental aptitude to do it. They don't. They can't do it.
Where do you see they fail? Besides, like when
Hold
you
on.
say,
because I'm going to forget this. The gentleman that I was talking about that I met, the last person, the last minute, the last that I spoke to this week. His segment at this conference was getting people to come back from working at home. How the bigger companies are starting to demand that you're at least 100 miles from an office, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and I'm all for it, and I'm cheering, and someone pulled me aside and said, you've been working from home for 15 years, right? Yeah. You get your work done, right? Yeah. You have the flexibility to do whatever you want every single day, right? Right. And you can spend more time with your family because you can break up when you're working, right? Why shouldn't everyone have that opportunity? And it hit me. It really hit me, like, maybe everyone doesn't need to be back at the office. Maybe it brings more to life by being able to be home and being in that environment and not spending an hour and a half in transit every day. Better quality of life.
Yes, but there's a counter side. Not everyone can do it.
Correct.
Most people's biggest problem is the behavior. And when you speak to a true salesperson, the first thing you have to do is change their behavior and what are they willing to sacrifice to get what they really want.
Right.
And if they're not, if they can't control their behavior, if they can't turn off TikTok, Instagram, their news feeds all day long,
right,
distracting them, and we only have a mental capacity in a day for so much.
Sure.
If they can't change that behavior and create good habits done consistently, they're going to fail. They're going to revert to bad habits. I always say it's like a train. It starts, it's getting going, and then all of a sudden the momentum is unbelievable.
But that's because you're feeding it with fuel, and you keep feeding it, and you don't stop feeding it, because the more business you stack on top of each other just keeps building a big funnel.
The compound effect.
But
unless you have that compound effect, you'll never get there.
But like you said, not everyone can do it.
Most people can't do it.
Well, but let me just tell you where I think we're challenged here. You grew up, I grew up, we grew up in a time where we were expected to be in the office, where you had to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, show up, and you were stressed, and if you had like 2 weeks vacation, that was a lot. That's how we grew up, right?
Until 15 years ago.
Think about it, right? But think about it. So now the kids coming out of school, if they've never gone through almost that 5-year period, 7-year period where you get your ass kicked, where you show up. Because like, look, when we interviewed, like if you interview for a job, I'm not even thinking about vacation. When I meet kids now, like, oh,
how many weeks off do I get?
It's not even a thought process in my mind.
Do I get any sick days with that?
Right. And so I wonder, again, as you look about it, as people are coming out of school and not having that mentality, does that, like guys like us who are just like, there is no off switch.
There is no. We'll work it. We'll work it.
Right. So I just don't know. Yeah.
It's a battle I deal with every day. Mm-hmm. The younger generation, they want to work less, quality of life, and most times the work doesn't show.
So I try to mentor as many people as I possibly can, and I literally had to do it for a coworker who some things didn't go our way. It was for the group. It didn't go our way, and he took it all personally, and he let himself get wrapped up in the no, and then tanked for the next 6 to 7 weeks because of lack of effort, his own words. Lack of effort, was disgusted with the company, was frustrated, all the reasons why. And I turned to him and said, hey, I went through the same thing. You know what I did? I put that little problem in a compartment over here. Yeah. And I went over here and I fucking killed it. And then I picked this back up when I talked to you on the phone and say, dude, shake it off. You're killing yourself now. Yep. You're hurting yourself. You took yourself out of the game. Who the fuck does that?
I tell everyone, no excuses. Anything that happens to you is because of you. No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
And sometimes you just have to.
You got to find a way. And guess what? Failure is good. It'll get you closer to success.
You know what?
Failure is good.
100%. But sometimes the failure's not your fault, so what? You didn't cause it, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You still have to clean up those pieces, and how you deal with it.
Yes.
Determines what kind of sales guy you're going to be.
100%.
You can be a whiny bitch who cries and complains every time we get on a call, or are you going to tell me what amazing stuff you're up to this week?
Listen, everybody has the tools. They could go online, they could go on YouTube, they could go to a course. All the information is right there. But if you're not taking action,
taking action. That's the word. Taking action.
Taking action. In your book, it's all about action. If you can't take action consistently, creating good habits, you're eventually going to revert to your bad habits. Yep. And it's going to be, we all know the people that they're up and they're down, they're up and they're down. And then they complain. Yep. The key is go one way.
Make your own luck. Make your own luck. Make your own luck.
Yes.
And I've been chasing these big accounts that my boss wants me to, and I know why he wants me to, and I am trying like hell. And I was on the phone with one of my buddies, and I said, I'm usually a lucky sales guy. I work hard, but every once in a while I get a nice little bone. I said, I'm really putting in a lot of time on this project, man, and I'm just waiting for that bone to drop, and I know it will. I believe it will. I really do. In my mind, it's going to happen because I keep trying. Trying. I'm not just, I tried once, it didn't work. No, I'm at it every week, trying to find that one big nugget that could carry me into a fourth quarter.
And you and I are transactional.
Yeah.
We actually have to go about our sales different than Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, you have to hit it from a different level,
right.
But the same grind, the same tenacity.
Yep.
You're just hitting it from a softer level than us.
That's right.
All right, we got our final 2 questions. You got yours? You take it?
Yeah, sure. I'm kind of interested in this. It's been a very interesting journey for you. Where do you see yourself, business going in the next 5 years?
Great question. Big goals. The company has big goals. One of the owners named it CarJoy to have a more national feel for it. And if you look around, there's license plates all over the place right now. CarJoy, spread the joy. So we're creating a very nice brand and reputation. So potentially make it more national, build it up, continue to build it up. And
so you see yourself there in 5 years?
If not much sooner.
Okay.
Much sooner. It's ready. It's ready to go. And we have the blueprint. We have the, we know how to be successful and to ramp it up.
That's great.
All right. Here comes the last question. We love this one. If you could have dinner or lunch with anyone in the history of the world, past or present, who'd you like to sit down and have a meal with?
What a great question. Probably my grandfather that I never met.
Okay.
My father was the best man at my wedding.
What was special about Granddad that your dad tells you?
He told me all the stories. But it would be nice to meet the man that
created the man.
Created the man. And,
that's awesome.
You get such good answers on it. Yeah, that's a great answer.
And, that is one of the better ones, no doubt.
I'm not a famous guy type of person.
Right.
You know, Mickey Mantle, all these guys, you know. But if I could meet him and learn about his journey to America and everything he went through from the Great Depression and my father, it would put some history behind it, and it would be nice.
Very cool. Look at the number.
Look at that.
Just hit 00. All right. You look at your camera. With your camera's over here. Look straight into it. Tell us who you are, how we can reach you. Go. It's your time.
Brian Ofsie, CarJoy. Buy and sell cars. Our goal is to save you money and have no stress at the dealership. 212-748-JOY. That's JOYY.
And you, Mark?
Mark Simpson, SEM Holdings. We handle all your outsourced loss prevention needs, and now moving into helping with some various security needs. I'm reachable at 917-414-4027.
So I'm Eddie Pods, and I'm going to take a minute to just worry about me for a moment. I had so much fun being part of somebody's team and going on and sharing my wisdom from the book that I'm looking for more. So if anyone out there needs someone to come in and pop up their staff before, after, during a trade show, or just took some nuggets out of the book that we'd like to have a 45-minute conversation that turns into a Q&A, you can reach me at eddiepods@gmail or 631-626-1432. Episode 35. We are out.